I gotta say, they did a good job with the season finale towards the end of the episode. Let's just say it was so much happening that it gets you excited for the next season. But let's talk about all of that and more in this Bel-Air Season 3, Episode 10 review. In this episode, Hilary's getting married, but before that happened, she lost her engagement ring. Lamarcus and his parents showed up. She's trying to hide her hand so they don't see that ring is missing, and Will and Carlton already know it's gonna be a messy situation. In the last episode, you already know where that ring's at. It's at Jazz's place. All of the families together, Hilary asked for some advice about being married. They offered some different advice, and Lamarcus' dad said something that he shouldn't have said. He accidentally brought up about Uncle Phil kissing another woman. They tried to play it off, but Hilary heard it. And we already know she hasn't told Lamarcus about her kiss with Jazz, so that might be a sign that she has to say something. Over at the country club, Will and Carlton are talking about their business with Drew, and Drew wants to make some changes. Carlton wasn't feeling that. Carlton, he just couldn't hold it together. Him and Drew let their emotions get in the way and said some stuff that wasn't on topic. They gotta put all that extra stuff to the side. This is business. They're trying to put something positive out there, and they have to be on the same page. Later on that night, Hilary brought up to Aunt Viv about Uncle Phil kissing another woman, and she told her that she kissed Uncle Phil and that there is no other woman. She also told her that their marriage survived because they made room for tough conversations, and if there's anything she has to say to Lamarcus, now is the time. I do think she should let Lamarcus know, even if it may be a tough conversation. Eventually, she did say something later on in the episode, but that was because at that point, she had to say something. It's the next day. Everyone has arrived at the place Hilary will be getting married at. Everybody's excited, and here's where we get those clues that Uncle Phil and Aunt Viv are gonna have another baby. They talking about the home's gonna be free. Ashley's going to high school. Will and Carlton are seniors. They'll soon be able to make themselves a priority. Wait, there's more. Aunt Viv said she felt seasick from the ferry. Nah, that's not all that was. When they started talking about freedom and them prioritizing themselves, I already knew what time it was. That house is not about to be completely empty. They about to have some more years before that happens. Carlton stepped in. He was talking to Uncle Phil about him getting out of anything that has to deal with Drew. He said he could, but they worked so hard to get there. The message that they have, it even helped him keep focused, and he's working on something big. He didn't say what it was yet, but he told him not to let his emotions drive his business decisions. I said that earlier. He let his emotions get in the way, and sometimes people have to work with other people they don't get along with. But they will have to come to a common ground. Plus, it's already too late to find any more investors. Ashley's friend Eli is there, and she told him that she likes him, but they had to keep it a secret from her parents. You already know in shows, and in this one, Uncle Phil and Aunt Viv not gonna like secrets. They gonna find out one way. Now, Jazz is back home. He found Hilary's ring when he was trying to put his shoe on. He called to see if they left, but it was already too late. You know what that means. He's gonna have to bring the ring, and drama is on the way. Moving along, Will's mom showed up, and she was not alone. Just like in the original show, he was a little thrown off seeing her dating someone. To be fair, it's new to him seeing his mom date. It'll take a minute for him to adjust, but we all know he wants what's best for his mom. He did have a little talk with him later on when everybody was taking photos. He told him to treat her right and they won't have any problems. But he said something that caught Will off guard. He said she gets a lot of attention in Philly, and he decided to go talk to her. He didn't say it this way, but he was basically like, whoa, wait a minute. She get a lot of attention from where? It seems like Will's mom is popular, and he wouldn't know that because he's not there as much, but if he was, he probably would have been wilding out if this was the Will from back then. He would be doing too much, but now he's a little better. Jeffrey's having a talk with Will and Carlton. He's talking about how much each of them have improved, and the both of them have noticed that something is up. By the way he was talking, it was like he was never going to see them again. We know Penelope suggested that they start somewhere new, and it looks like that's what's going to happen. Just then, Will got a message from Jazz that he was there, and he told him that he's the one who wants to give Hilary her ring back. That was a bad idea, but when you see these two together, you could tell they still care about each other, but Hilary has moved on. Outside though, Lisa's talking to Jamal Hill. He brought up about Lisa training to win nationals, but she was unsure about it. He did give her some words of encouragement that every athlete is facing their own battles. She's not alone. Let that grit make her stronger. Earlier, she did say that she wanted a son. I think she will do good eventually now that some of the weight at home has been lifted. So now she can focus more on swimming. Now, back inside the house, Hilary and Jazz are meeting back up with Will so Jazz could leave, and as soon as Jazz and Hilary hugged, Lamarcus showed up. They were so close to him leaving and nobody finding out, but Lamarcus, he wanted to know what was going on. She came clean about leaving her ring at his place, that nothing happened and she just needed closure. And she mentioned the kiss as well. He was mad, and rightfully so. He's literally finding out about this on their wedding day. She told him she didn't want any more secrets between them, and he told her he didn't have any. Lamarcus did end up leaving, and Will and Ashley went to go talk to him. The start of that conversation was wild. They let him know that they were basically rooting for Jazz. But Will and Ashley both can see just how much Hilary cares about him, and Hilary showed up to talk to him as well. She was speaking on how great of a guy he is, and she told him, just like their parents, she wants to fight for their marriage, that she loves him and nobody else. Then Hilary told Will that the wedding was still on, even though Lamarcus didn't respond to her when she said she would meet him at the altar. Everybody was wondering where Lamarcus was at, and meanwhile, inside the house, Uncle Phil and Hilary had a quick chat. She brought up the dinner they had, and she figured out when he said people aren't perfect, they make mistakes, he was referring to himself. And she recalled what he said before, that they make mistakes, but they keep showing up. I like that moment. I can't explain it, but her and Uncle Phil went through a similar situation, and just hearing her quote what he said before, it shows she really values her father and what he says. And also that he's going to be there for his daughter no matter what. Lamarcus did show up, they got married, and everything worked out. Jazz did pop up, but he didn't interrupt anything. I was like, I know they're not going to have him pull a Dwayne from a different world. After all of that, everybody's dancing. We see Ashley and Eli. She tells him that she's going to tell her parents after everything that happened with Hilary. She doesn't want to lie to them. I think that's fair. I will say they're going to be paying attention even more now. Now Will's having a talk with his mom, and he told her just like Jazz put his feelings aside for the one he loves, he's gonna do the same. She let him know that she kept her dating private because she wanted to be sensitive about bringing men into his life that weren't gonna stay. And that talk he made her have with Lou, it helped her out. She was carrying a lot of baggage, and overall, they just need to live their lives. He was joking about it being his fault, and she told him, like it or not, he has a way of bringing people together. That was good of Will putting his emotions aside and not doing too much while his mom's date was there. It shows that he's growing up, and I like how they tied everything back to that talk because they got to deal with some of the problems and emotions that were there. Moving along, everybody's back home, and Carlton got some good news. The alumni who backed out was so impressed with the work that they've been doing with their business, it looks like he might still have a chance to get into Princeton. Will at that moment decided to bring Carlton and Drew together to work through what was going on. He wanted them to focus on the business and what they're trying to do, so Carlton and Drew agreed. Now it's time for them to get to work. It's good this whole situation got handled quickly. Will, Carlton, and Lisa meet up with the mirror before she leaves for a new rehab in Boston. She did apologize to them about what she said before because they have been good friends to her and she never really had that. Will let her know it's all good and they just want her to get better. Amira and Carlton say their goodbyes. It was a nice emotional moment. They both really care about each other and he was there for her even at her worst. Hopefully, if this character comes back, she is doing better, and when her and Carlton meet again, they both would have made progress while being apart. It's finally time we get to see what Uncle Phil has been working on when it comes to the South LA project. Also, good news for Jazz, Omar decided not to press any charges. It was revealed that the project is being developed by a new investment team, one that is committed to the renewal of the neighborhood. They're all black and ranging from athletes and CEOs. I said in one of the reviews that he should have found some new investors. It was good they went with that plan because it'll be more communication with the people around there about what's going to be happening next. Afterwards, there's a lot that happens that you are trying to process because it's like, wait, what? Will was wondering where Jeffrey was at, and just then we see Uncle Phil reading a letter Jeffrey left for him. It seems like he will be leaving for right now, and the reason I say for right now is because when Will went to go visit Jeffrey and he wasn't there, he got kidnapped outside. It was the same people that was following Jeffrey. Then at first, it seemed like Lamarcus was okay, and then when Hilary walked back, he passed away. They really made Hilary lose somebody twice. Remember in the original show, she lost Trevor. Also, Aunt Viv found out that she was pregnant, so all that the house is gonna be empty, no, not this time. It's gonna be another one there. It will be interesting to see how their relationship will be with another child in the house. Overall, great season finale. We got to see Hilary's wedding. Will and Carlton worked out their business situation. Uncle Phil was able to help out with the South LA project and not only helped out Omar, but the people as well. And so much more that happened at the end of the episode that will be setting up for season 4. I'm interested to hear y'all thoughts. Comment below. What did you think about the episode and what did you think about the overall season?